we should abandon this boring identitarian view, which tells us that, okay, you have your culture, I have my own culture, we can just try, we cannot ever really understand each other. So as if we are separated islands and we can try to understand each other, but we always fail. No, the first thing to add, it's a crazy thesis, is that the problem is not if I understand you. The problem is that I probably, and for sure, already don't really understand myself. And the contact I am in my identity always traversed inconsistent, inconsequential, and so on and so on, so that the contact and exchange with other or others, persons, cultures at a global level, can make me understand better than I understand myself. Because, as I said, as a general thesis, every specific culture is ontologically open. For example, and then I will apply this also to relations with Iran. For example, my standard example, I'm sorry if it's a little bit boring, Shakespeare. It's a false question to ask, can we understand what Shakespeare really meant in the figure of Hamlet? In some sense, I claim he himself didn't know it. There are in Shakespeare some features, characteristics, which obviously he as a great writer just put down without being aware of all the implications, presuppositions, and so on and so on. So I claim it's not that since we don't know the historical context, we cannot really know what Shakespeare meant. No, Shakespeare didn't know it. And later interpretations are like new perspectives, but not simply external to Shakespeare, new perspectives which bring out what was only latent, virtual in Shakespeare. And this is my hope for international intellectual exchanges. For example, going back to Shakespeare, I don't know how you deal with Shakespeare in Iran, but I was very glad to learn of two great writers. I don't like the other one. He is too spiritual in a fake way for me, but Shakespeare and Dostoevsky. It's undoubtedly, all real movie lovers know this, that the best version of Hamlet for me is the one shot, I think, in early 60s by Kurosawa in Japan. It's a Hamlet set in modern Japan. A student who is son of a rich industrialist comes back from his studies in America and discovers that his father was killed by the usual story, his uncle. So it's different time, different culture, but you see their dimensions, the traumatic core of Hamlet, all its ambiguity, much more clearly than in Shakespeare himself. For example, it's clear to every attentive reader that the true bad guy in Shakespeare is not Claudius who killed the king, but the king himself. He must have been an evil king. Okay, I will not lose time here. The same surprise, you know that also Kurosawa, I think, did the best version of Dostoevsky's Idiot that I know. Set in contemporary Japan, Idiot is a soldier who returns to his home from the war, broken down, and so on and so on. So you see my point. We shouldn't say, okay, we have Shakespeare's Hamlet and we have what the Japanese did with Hamlet. No, it's all intertwined, interconnected. Walter Benjamin, whom you know, said somewhere that some works of art, and I would add even philosophy, are like shots of a film in a traditional, real cinematic track, for which only a later generation invents a developer so that you can see the precise image that you shot. I think it's like this. For example, Shakespeare became Shakespeare. I claim maybe even after Romanticism, only in the 19th century. You need time. From distance, it's true that sometimes distance is an obstacle. You don't understand what is a certain civilization, but maybe you can understand it even better. And this is, I think, our situation today. It's not that out of some politically correct desire to understand the other that I'm interested in Iranian philosophy, Indian, Chinese philosophy, and so on. It's to understand myself only through another's eyes can I see what is hidden in myself.